and welcome to the Grianaig Creations podcast channel. This is a random episode to wrap up 2021 and go into 2022. Happy New Year to you all. My name is Kirsty and I am coming to you from Paisley in Scotland. So, this isn't a typical podcast episode. This is going to be something just a little bit different. I am copying Deborah of Diary of a Physicist Farm Gal, and I am going to do a WIP parade. I'm going to show you all the WIPs that I am carrying into 2022, and yes, let's set the record straight, there are a good couple of blanket projects. So, I'm not doing them in any particular order, like oldest WIP to newest WIP, nothing like that at all. I'm just going to pick things up as I get to them, because I have quite a few. Also, apologies if you are prone, that's not the correct word. Apologies if you're offended by swearing. I am wearing a t-shirt that has the F word on it. I'm not going to go change because I am really warm, so I'm not going to put a layer on, and I don't see the point in dirtying into a t-shirt. So if you don't like it, there's other podcasts. So, like I say, I'm just going to pick out things that just come to hand, like the first things that are there, but the first one I'm going to get out the way is my only cross-stitching project that I have had on the go since 2019. Oh, it's not even that big a project. So I have the hang in there cross stitch that I started in 2019 after I had shoulder surgery. I pick it up periodically and put a wee bit on it. And something in Deborah's podcast the other day apparently shows you how much I know about cross stitch. You're not meant to leave things on the hoop. So, whoops. Let's just loosen that off a little bit. I'm not going to take it right out the hoop because I can never really get them back in. But it's just come out the hoop. I'm just going to loosen it. There we go. So yep, I started this in 2019 after I had shoulder surgery, and I was told by the doctors and my physio that I was not allowed to knit for 6 weeks. So instead I started a cross stitch project because I can do it left-handed, whereas I'm naturally right-handed and all my shoulder movement would be on the opposite side. I had surgery on that shoulder. So that's my only cross stitch project, and I don't even think there's that much to get done. So I really have no excuse. Like, I really should just get my finger out and get it done. Sometimes it's really good to like pull your WIPs out and be like, right, okay, this is what I've got. Because once I've finished recording, I'm going to write everything down and be like, right, okay, I have these projects that I need to work on. And then, again, copy Deborah and do like a WIP bingo thing. So that's my only cross stitch project. Okay, let's get socks out of the way. I have quite a few. I've lost one of my bags. So I'm counting sock tubes that I've cranked on my circular sock machine that don't have either a heel toe or a cuff, or just have heels and toes, or cuffs and toes but no heels. Like, I'm counting all of those as WIPs. So I'll count the first hand knitted one. This is for my mama bear. She knows all about it. You'll have seen it in my last podcast. No, you wouldn't have. You'll have seen it in my Vlogmas. Because I'm doing the Vanilla is the New Black heel. It's a very new to me heel. I've never done this one before. It's very stretchy. So yep, these are from my mum. I'm hand knitting these ones. So that's another WIP. And then I've got my fibre punk socks that just need heels. These were cranked on my circular sock machine. So they just need heels, like I said. And then I've got these ones, which is a Giddy Yarns colourway. Again, cranked on my circular sock machine. These just need heels as well. And then I've got one very long tube with a cuff. Another tube. And another one. And technically this is two, but they're joined together. So, how many sock projects do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sock projects. It's not until you kind of sit down and do this that you're like, oh, that's a lot of projects. 2 of those can get done really quickly if I just put heels in it. It takes me about an hour to do a heel. So that's 4 hours work and then they're done. I just don't know who they're for yet. That's the only thing stopping me from progressing. Oh no, I've got another sock project. So this is a half finished object. This was a yarn I got in Blackpool. It's just a vanilla sock, cuff down, cuff down, a partridge heel. I think it's a partridge slip stitch heel. And the only reason I didn't keep working on this is because the black dye comes out and it covers your fingers and it's not pleasant. But I will get onto it and then I will try and set... Why is my phone buzzing so badly? Like, I know it's New Year and everything, but come on. So I'll try and set the yarn a bit better with some citric acid, and then hopefully when I wear them my feet will not turn black. So that's another sock project. Let's leave blankets to last. Because you know, there's a few. When did I start this? Start of December? Week or 2 into December? I don't know. I can look back and see when I bought the pattern because I think I started it like a week later. But this is the Boran sweater that I started, and the only reason I stopped was because I had Christmas gifts to work on. That's the only reason I stopped working on this. I was really enjoying it, even though there's cables. I'm coming around to the world of cables. So that's the cable detail there on the arms. Like, this is the shoulder. So that's where the cable detail is. It's on the other shoulder too. It's not just one. So that's the only reason I stopped working on this, was because I had Christmas projects I really needed to get finished, and I'm knitting this up on a big ball of Aran. I have 2 of these just in case I need it, because I'm going to do it like full length body, full length sleeves, so that I've got a really great jumper for next winter. So that's the Boran sweater by Anna Freiberg, and you can find her as Yarnistry. I'll link her down below. And I have the pattern here actually. Let's show you a photo if I can find one. I also really... oh, there's a good photo right there. Really don't want to lose my place in the pattern. So that's the pattern there. That is Anna herself modelling it. She has recommended in the pattern that you knit to bracelet length, but that is really not my preference. I would prefer down to about my thumb knuckle, as I'm calling it. I don't know if that's the correct terminology, but you have knuckles for every other finger, so you must have a knuckle for your thumb. So yeah, I cannot wait to pick this back up, but I didn't take a note of where I finished, and I can't read cable. I also cannot read cable pattern. I've had to write what they all are down below. There is a glossary, don't know if that's the correct term for knitting, but it's on a completely different page, and so I've just written it at the bottom of the one, and I'm doing the extra large. Okay, so sticking with garments, I have the ranunculus that has very, very little work on it. Oh, actually maybe I did more than I thought I had. Yeah, I've done more than I thought I had. Oh my god, I've just dropped stitches and it's lace. See, people, this is why you get a stitch stopper thing for your needles. I think that's me. I think I just dropped 2 stitches. Whew! Thank God. It's really freaking out there. So yeah, apparently I have knit more than I thought I had, and I also have no idea where the front is and where the back is. So yeah, this mess right here, that is the ranunculus. I had talked about it on my podcast, and I was so eager to start this project, like so eager to start this project. It was all I wanted to do, and I had the perfect yarn for it, and I was so excited. I cast on, and then I was just like, well, fuck this, because I had to cast on with DPNs. And it was just such a mess, and they're like 6mm needles, and it was just a nightmare. I hated the beginning of this project. Hated it. It would probably be different if I was doing it on thicker yarn, because I am doing this on the stated yarn, which is the lace, because I really want this for summer or just kicking around. And then I'm thinking of doing one that's like DK or iron weight. Scott's upstairs. Apologies if you can hear that. We have very squeaky floors. So yeah, I had all intentions of getting this one and just rattling it straight off the needles and just focusing on this, and then I was just like, ugh, like, why am I doing this to myself? Lace weight with 6mm needles, not fun. But I might pick it back up because I still want the finished object. So that is the ranunculus by Midori Heroes. This is really interesting. Scott's also now recording a video, so I can hear him talking, which means he can hear me talking, and I just hope you can't hear him talking. As professional as always here on the podcast. So yeah, I hope to pick this back up and get it worked on, because I do really still love the yarn, the colour, the feel of the yarn. That is the West Yorkshire Spinners Exquisite yarn that I picked up in my old LYS, the wee crafty owl back in my old town. And I still want the finished object. So I'm going to have to knit on it if I want the finished object. Okay, that's the only garments I have, which is shocking. So now we'll move on to accessories. I cast on, where's the pattern? Oh, the pattern's over there. I'll be right back. I was really careful when I got up not to move the camera, and then when I sat down, I moved the camera, didn't I? So, I cast on the, I don't want to give too much, I don't know if there's sensitive information. I cast on the Golden Rays cowl by my lovely friend Pip, and I cast on for the longer version of the cowl, and I stopped. Nothing to do with the pattern, but this is a lot of stitches. This is 300. Sorry, I don't know if he's trying to get in the living room. Babe.
Yes.
Say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Are you recording as well?
I've done my 30-second video.
That's it?
Yeah.
I'm on 20 minutes.
Very good for you. Well, if I stay upstairs, I'll take it.
Yeah. You can sit in here, but you have to be quiet. But you'll make me dead self-conscious. Okay. So yeah, I cast on for the larger cowl, and that is 336 stitches. And I've been on the fence about whether I'm going to rip it back out. Just bin that. So I'm on the fence as to whether I'm going to rip it back out and make the smaller one, or whether I'm just going to get on with it. But I've got two different needles on here, so I don't know what my thought process was. I think because I had to knit the first round. Yeah, so I had to change to the larger needles. So maybe that's what my thought process was, I don't know. So I'm about to start the colour, so if I don't rip it out, I'm about to start the colour work. But if I do rip it out, then I have to cast on all over again, and that was a lot of stitches. I would prefer the longer ones. I don't know why I'm on the fence, maybe just because it is so many stitches. Who knows? So that's the Golden Rays cowl. Again, any pattern will be linked below to the designer and the pattern itself. So no need to have to go hunting. And then I have one other. You all know this one. I have the Underwing Mittens. And apologies, can't remember who this is by. Oh, that is my Hail Hydra Mittens. Where is the actual... Do I not have the full pattern? Erica Hauser. So I've done this one, and as we've talked about before, my tension changed here, and this is a lot tighter than this part, and I've been on the fence about ripping it out because this is one of my best colour work that I've done. At least this part of the mitten has the best colour work I've ever done. Top bit, not so much. But that's because we start getting longer floats and longer sections of having to carry yarn, and it's just generally not... I'm not good when you have to go a lot of spaces and try and carry your float. I'm not good at it. I'm getting better, I think. So yeah, I've only got one and I don't have a thumb. So kind of need to do something about that. Everyone has been really kind in their comments and just say, look, it's not going to be that big a deal, like you can wear them, it's not too tight for you, so don't rip it out, don't rip all that work out and do it again, and just make your second one and just be really, really careful with your tension on your second one. Because I rattled through these really quickly when I actually was knitting them, but then we moved and I stopped. So yep, Underwing Mittens, Erica Hauser. Just needs a thumb and a second mitten. Oh, am I too loud for you?
I hear you.
So where are you going upstairs?
Just in case this cuts out, I don't know where my headphones are charged, and my charger's upstairs as well.
Okay, okay. Is it resting on your butt?
Yeah.
So, now we're on to the biggest portion of my WIPs, which is blankets. I was really proud of the fact I finished and have Actually, I was going to say I finished 3 blankets. I finished 4. I finished a lap blanket for Scott, which was corner to corner crochet, so that was a new technique to me. I finished this one, which still needs to get to its recipient. That was the commission blanket. I finished and finally wove in all the ends on my goddaughter's blanket. She now has that, my oldest goddaughter. And then I finished the other blanket for my youngest goddaughter and wove in all the ends on that, and that's with her. But, oh, no, I forgot one. I have another garment, and I was looking at it like it was a blanket. You would think it was. There's yarn attached to this project. Scott dashed in because he forgot his phone. So this is the wrong side. This is my... Hey, come on, sleeves. This is my Marl Magic sweater. I am still not done. Exactly 1 year ago I cast this on. I cast it on the 1st of January with Amy, and it's not done yet. I was hoping to have this finished, but that's what happens when you don't work on it. As simple as that. Believe it or not, if you don't put work on a project, it's not going to get finished. So I am on section 11 out of 14. Yep, 11 out of 14, so I'm getting there. I'm getting there. And I'm on this seed stitch bit just now, which joins up this green section, so that's going to join in there, which makes me very curious as to how this is going to work. I think that's a sleeve. I've got no idea. Honestly, I'm just going with a pattern because I've got no idea how this is going to work. I don't know where the sleeves are. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know. And I don't know how I feel about it. I will wear this in the house, but I think it's just so crazy colour-wise, and I am a little bit on the fence. Like, I saw so many where people had chosen very similar colours, whereas I've chosen very different colours, and I've gone against, like, where he said do like a fading marrow, do a steady marrow and all that jazz. I've just gone with it and hoped for the best. But you know what? You live and learn, don't you? If you don't like it when it's done, you know not to do something very similar in the future. So yep, this is not a blanket, even though if you looked at it, you would think it was a blanket, because it certainly does not resemble a top in any way. So, let's try and get it back in its bag. Okay, so I had my blanket count wrong. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I only have 5 blankets! Yes! I thought I had 6 for a minute. So I got 4 blankets finished. 1 still needs to get to its recipient. Once this is out the house, I'll feel better. But actually, I'll talk about that in the actual podcast after this. So, I'm actually going to be casting on a 6th blanket, but it is a commission again, and this one's a commission, kind of. Oh, there's lip balm. It's not meant to be in there. I haven't worked on this one in a while, but this is going to get a lot of love because this is going to be a baby blanket. Awfully big baby blanket, but still is baby blanket. And the baby is due in March, so I need to get a move on. So this is the blanket pack. Well, that's going to be fun trying to figure out which crochet hook I was using. I have a 5 and a 4. I got a blanket pack from Aldi. It's seen better days. So you got the orange, the gold, the yellow, the purple, and then the teal. And I'm making hexagons. Amy, is that right? Pentagons? Hexagons? I think it's hexagons. And I'm going to be joining them up. It's going to probably end up being quite a big blanket, or I'll just make 2 baby blankets and then maybe give one up to the hospital for the NATO unit. Oh, excuse me. Oh, my coaster's stuck. Oh, my tea's going cold. So this is a commission, kind of. I'm not getting paid for it. I have offered to do this, and I have crafted for this family in the past. This is my work colleague. I made a blanket for her son's baby. I made a crochet nurse for her daughter at the kind of start of the pandemic, because she was having a really tough time and she was a key worker. And this is a blanket for another of her daughters. Oh no, sorry, the same daughter. Who is due in March. So that is not going to be in the house for too much longer into the new year. And then this is a blanket for my mum, although I'm maybe going to make a different one for her. Shh. Hi Mum! So this is the yarn eater blanket. I'm going to see how much I can get done, because I don't have the most amount of wool for this project. But we'll see. And it's such a beautiful pattern. This is maybe not the best yarn for it, but it's still really beautiful pattern. So blanket number 2, crochet. And, oh, I'm going to lose a crochet hook. Blanket number 3, also crochet. I love this blanket. Oh, it's covered in cat hair. This is my granny stripe blanket that I'm making in very specific wool. I'm making it in like a sock yarn, like Regia, Opal, hence my tower of Opal minis just there. Like, this is my tower of Opal minis that came out of this bag. Oh, sorry for the shaking. So I haven't put any work on this possibly in the last 9 months. Haven't put a single stitch on this. So hopefully I can get some work done on this blanket in the next coming weeks, months, year. I've got 2 giant balls of yarn, thanks to Amy, who sent me some yarn. I've got 2 giant balls of yarn, and then if I'm ever in a shop and I see these little minis, I normally try and pick 1 or 2 up. The cost does mount up, unfortunately. So yeah, and then any socks I make, and it's the same type of yarn feel that I'm after, I'll save up and I'll put in the blanket as well. So that is for Scott and I, mostly for me, because he's sensitive to certain fibres. Like, he does find some yarn itchy. Like, I made him a hat and he can't wear it, and that was BFL. So this probably is actually just going to be a blanket for me, if I'm completely honest. Squeeze it in. I need to move it into a bigger bag. And then, last but by no means least, is another blanket that I started when Scott and I moved into this flat. and this is going to be for on the bed. This is an Attic 24 pattern that you can get free on their blog. And I'm just using up some Aran weight yarn that I've had for ages. Like, I don't even know where the yarn came from. Because one of them is quite an old yarn, it was quite an old label. So I don't know who I got it from or where I got it from. But I'm using this gorgeous purple. And then this teal. A bit of red. And then cream. I'm going to make it as long as I can. I don't have the most amount of yarn in the world. So that's why I'm kind of like, that's why there's only like one teal in it so far, because I think I've got the least, actually I think I now have the least in red. So I'm going to have to really think about this project as I go along and weigh up how much yarn I've got and what placement I can do. But this was a really fun blanket project to work on, but it's not one I could do mindlessly because I have to remember where the increases are and where the decreases are. But it's so soft and squishy and it's really, really nice. It'll be great on the bed in winter. So yeah, that is all my WIPs that I am carrying over into 2022. I am going to write them all down. Maybe cut them up, like cut up the bits of paper and then put it in a jar. And then once a week, I might pick one out and be like, right, that's what I'm going to work on this week. Like, don't know, I don't want to limit myself. Like, I'm still going to work on other things throughout the year. Like, I'm going to cast on a new project later on today. I'm going to cast on the Frank shawl. So I'm doing a knit along with my virtual knit group, and I'm obviously going to work on other things like throughout the year, but these are, especially the blankets, these are very, very, very long-term WIPs, and I fully expect to take both my crochet blankets into, oh, I forgot a project. I started a new one. He's just sitting there being like, why are you not talking about me? Who's he talking to? Oh, I wonder if his mum phoned. On New Year's Day, we were heading to Scott's mum's and I needed a project and I didn't want to take anything because she smokes and I don't want certain projects coming back smelling of smoke. So I decided to take some minis and I cast on the Coziest Memories blanket, and I cast this on the 25th, and this is my progress. Like, I have been loving working on this, but I fully expect my momentum to drop as the year goes on, but I would like to try and get a square done a week. If I can get a square done a week, fantastic. If I can get a square done a day for a while, awesome. Like, I'm just going to roll with it, but once a week I would like to put a square on it so that it's just not going to sit for ages like a lot of my other blankets. So yeah, that's the last one. You're probably saying that, Kirsty, that was only 4 blankets, you said you had 5. But yeah, like I was saying, I think I'm going to write them down on a bit of paper, cut the paper up and put it in a jar. I'm looking at the jar I think I'm going to use. And then maybe once a week pull out one of them and be like, right, this is what I'm going to work on, along with whatever project I have on the go at that point. And I don't know whether I'm going to pick it out and work on it until it's done, apart from blankets, or if I'm just going to work on it for that week and put it back in if I don't complete it, like put it back into the jar. Genuinely not sure how I'm going to work this. I am literally speaking as I'm thinking. which is not always a good thing. So yeah, I'm gonna stop the recording now, and then I'm going to go freshen up my tea because this is getting cold, and I'm going to record for a normal podcast episode. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment down below with how many WIPs you have taken into the new year, if any. If you haven't brought any in, then slap a big great 0 into those comment boxes. I would love to know. And here is to an excellent 2022. Cheers, and see you later. Stay safe.